Hello everybody, back here again for another vlog a day, and today is Monday the 19th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, not too bad. Got up, got around, got the dog outside, and basically chilled out with him for a little bit. Had a couple things to get done. Did not jump in the hot tub for some reason this morning. I don't really remember why, but didn't get in the hot tub. And usually I try and do it every morning, but not today. So kind of is what it is. Wife got off to work. She had to head in early to try and get a bunch of stuff done. So they got a new person starting. They got to get trained and stuff. They got a bunch of things going on. So she's been working trying to do 3 jobs, and at the same time, it's ridiculous because she's got so much work that for her own job that she can barely keep up, and is bringing tons of work home and stuff. Now she's trying to get everything else done. So now she got to train somebody else, which takes longer than just doing it yourself, and so on and so forth. But it is what it is. So she was heading in super early, and it was good to go there. She heads out. Me and the dog go outside, get him fed. He ate pretty good last night for dinner, but didn't seem to want to eat breakfast this morning, which is pretty common for him. He's kind of a stubborn old man and doesn't like change, so kind of is that deal there. But yeah, we hung out for the morning a little bit, got a couple things accomplished, nothing too major. Went ahead from there. I was able to basically get not much done, a little bit here and there done. Went out in the garage, took a couple things, kind of making sure I was out in my clearing out the garage for my wife to be able to put her car in there now, because basically shortly after I sold my Corvette, I think the same week, I decided it was time to finish cleaning out my father-in-law's storage unit from when we sold his house and put him in assisted living, and got him all of his stuff into storage. And then we've been slowly bringing the stuff out of storage and put it into our house now that he's out of assisted living. And we had a bunch of just all the old rickety ass metal shelves in his garage, just the garbage ones with the particle board shelves, and not even metal, just crappy particle board shelves and stuff. And all that kind of ended up just in the middle of my garage. And then things got all these other stuff got piled up around it, and it was just took over the garage. And it wasn't that much stuff, but it was a lot. And we were trying to figure out if we were going to get rid of the shelves. He was saying he wanted to keep them. I'm like, where are you going to put them? Because they were I don't know, they were in his garage to store all these, they traveled a lot when they were younger, and during their married life they traveled often, and they had the belief that if you didn't buy a bunch of knickknack and bric-a-brac and garbage, then why did you even go on that trip? And to the point, she has an aunt who has also traveled with them quite a bit, my wife's aunt, that was still has in her head, I have to buy something every single time we go anywhere, to the point that she's like, I don't even really care what it is when you guys go back up there, because she didn't feel like going back out. On our last day before we headed home, we were heading up to the one area, had a gift shop type place, and her answer was, just buy me something so I'll know it came from this trip. And I was like, okay. She goes, keep it around $50, and not keep it under, and not hey, to go buy something $10 that has a sentimental. No, just keep it about $50. So we're gonna spend $50 on an item she's gonna take home, and she's gonna tell herself she'll remember this trip forever because of that $50 item, as opposed to take a photo or have a memory or whatever. No, just buy a $50 item. So his entire garage and part of his attic and part of his house was stuff full of crap like this that he didn't have any memory of and no use for, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so I have all the shelving left over from that. That's now all over my garage. So basically I went out there, made sure kind of where I was at, reached out to the dog owners, asked them what time they were wanting to pick up this morning, because just kind of trying to make sure we're on the same page, because we had a general time frame. And their answer was, yeah, we can actually pick him up right now. So, and they only live 5-6 minutes away. So I'm like, yeah, that works for me. So told them how much they owed me, and they were like, yep, we'll see you in a few minutes. We got the house about 10 minutes later, which is about an hour and a half before I thought they were going to be coming to get the dog, but hey, whatever, works. So they came pick the dog up, and it was good. The dog happy to see him. We talked about how the day went, and told him about how he was the only dog here, so he had full run of the house, where he has some he doesn't really like other dogs necessarily. He plays rough enough to the point that it's gonna stir on a fight. I don't think he's trying to fight, but he's so trying to be dominant that unless you have a submissive dog, they're gonna whoop him. And he's old, so it ain't gonna take a lot to whoop him. So even though he's a big dog, it's gonna get bad for both quickly. So he's kept apart, but luckily nobody's here, so he had a full run of the house and everything was great. We had a really good time together. So it sounds like it might be his last time here because he's got really bad. He's got tests coming up Thursday that there's a good chance they're gonna put him down because there's some issues going on with the x-rays and MRIs and all that crap today. So glad he was able to be here with no other dogs around for this trip because I got to spend really good quality time with him and really kind of just give him a little extra attention, a little extra love, and hopefully it all works out for him and he gets healed and moves on, or he gets to go on to the next part of his, gets to move past his life to a peaceful end. So it is what it is. They left and I decided, okay, I got time now to clean out the rest of that garage so I can get that knocked out. So I was like, yay, let's get at it. So I then proceed to clean the garage out and finish it up and moving things around, and moved a couple items over here to make that room for that. I was moving things around, and I spent most of the day out in the garage. Hot, holy crap. It was hot last night, but felt hotter today because it was sunny, or at least last night it was dark, so it gave you the perceived belief that it was not as hot, although it was still as hot. So, but yeah, went ahead and worked out there for a few more hours and got that thing knocked out where it's good enough to get the car in. It's good to go. I got room for the motorcycle, everything has room to move around. Got the generator put in a better position, power washer moved. It just that playing a little bit of Jenga. A couple things will get moved again, but the hope is I'll get a garage built here. Who knows when? But I'll get a garage built and then I'll have a new remodel of moving around again. So got done there, went ahead and said, okay, I'm gonna go check on my wife's car. I wanted to take over to a local mechanic shop to basically figure out if they know what's going on with the top, why it didn't go up and down, and so on and so forth. And basically head over to work, grab the extra keys that was given to us when I got the car, and had checked the door locks and stuff, unlocks, all that crap, and drive over to work, hop in her car, move the seat back, put in the ignition. The steering wheel does all the fancy up and downs to make it all, the crap is just things to break, but it is what it is. So crank, car won't start. Cranks over, won't start. Cranks over, won't start. And I try everything. I'm like, you son of a bitch. And it's got no spark or no gas, but it just cranks, no fire. And now I'm pissed at this car because I'm like, last night or 2 nights ago, Saturday night, you screw up and the top won't go up for me. And now I try and do a good thing. I was gonna go give it a little quick rinse off at the car wash also, and then have the mechanic check it out to kind of look it over and see what if they could tell what was going on with the roof. Mostly I was heading that way to, I had the garage empty now, so I put the top down. It don't go right back up. We can always park it in the garage so we can find a mechanic to work on it. So like, not a big deal, everything's good, and it won't start. And I tried like 4 times. And I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch, what's going on? So I tried to turn the key out, tried to turn the key up, all kinds of like whatever. So I called my wife and she doesn't answer, but I'm now here, I'm like pissed. I almost put the seat back to exactly where it was. When I got there, I just walked away from the car and said, held it, let her find out her car don't start, because it's her car, not mine, not my problem. But I couldn't do that. Wanted to do that, really did. And that way it's also not on me that it's acting up. So, but I call her, second time she answers, and I asked her if she had any problems with the car starting this morning. And she goes, no, started up, it's fine. I'm like, maybe it's my key. And so she's like, well, I'll bring my key out. So she brings her key out, put it in the car, fires it up like it's nothing. So apparently it's my key. My key works the door, works the trunk, all that shit, but does not start the car. The manual key will turn the ignition and allow the motor to crank, but it will not allow the motor to start. So no idea what's up with that. So I was super annoyed with that whole thing. I was not real happy. Kind of is what it is, but I now took her key, went over, talked to the shop, and they said they don't do anything with keys. They also said they really don't do anything with tops, so I got to find someplace else that does top work, and kind of explained to him. He didn't really say where to go, but he did say they work on everything else in that car. Like they're the import guys. They work on all the Volkswagens and all the, Mercedes and all that kind of crap, BMWs and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. He gave me a quote, what timing belt's going to cost to replace and whatnot. And basically said they're about a week, like 4 days out, usually a week out. But a lot will depend on parts. So I got to now figure out if the timing belt's been replaced yet, which I don't think it has been, because I don't know. Something tells me it hasn't. Don't know why. Just don't feel like it has. So, but yeah, we got that fun to worry about. So went ahead from there, put the top up. I got the shop, put the top down. Got the mechanic shop. Tried to put the top up when I got there, because I was hoping it would fail. Actually, I was hoping it would fail. Didn't. Top went up just fine. So put the top back down, drove back to her work, and basically dropped it off for her. Went and gave her back her key, because my key is garbage. They gave me a name of a place to go to get the key made, or remade, or rechipped, or however the hell you gotta do it. So he went ahead and dropped that key off to her. Met one of her employees that I'd never met before, that I guess is the one that had borrowed one of our wheelchairs, that husband got bit by a snake, and it was, yeah. So basically got that, met that person for the first time. Technically I just met the new employee also, that started today, but just more saw her in her office, didn't actually speak to her because I didn't know who it was, and they had their shit going on. So, but yeah, that was it. We got back to the house, went and got my run in, got myself a shower, decided to start making spaghetti, which maybe using ragatoli noodles my wife wanted instead. So used my sausage and my hamburger, mix it for my meat, put in some mushrooms and some chives and some onions, and grilled, basically pan fried all that stuff up. Did my noodles, mixed up my sauces, and then mixed it all up together. Wife got home from work, told me they had some really bad news at work. They had a employee pass away, and it's just, he's got like a year-old baby, and God, it just sucks. It's just so hard. And his dad also works there. It's just such a mess. They're dealing with that whole sadness of all that, and just, yeah, it just sucks. It really does. You just don't realize how much that's going to affect things. And just, yeah. So she's, like she said, when she got there, she went in super early because she had a bunch of stuff to get done, and she wasn't there very long at all. And the owner of the company shows up and then told her what's going on, and she wanted to be there in time to basically squash any rumors that might flow through the employees out there of what happened, because you can have somebody like legitimately like just pass away from whatever reason, and next thing you know they're run over by a rhino, as the story keeps building and how things go down. So they decided they wanted to get the direct story out there, and that way all the employees knew, and they made an announcement to everybody, kind of thing. So yeah, that sucks. And like I said, especially his dad works there also. It's like you don't expect to be, one, it's not that common anymore to have father or son work in the same company, but then the son to be the one that passed away first. We wouldn't think like the dad passed away. You're like, well, dad's older, expect that, but not the young, son. Like I said, with a 1-year-old baby. Like, God, that changes that kid. Sucks. So yeah, it is. So we dealt with that bad news, which was never fun. And then we had our dinner, which is always a spin. So had a nice little meal from there. Watched a little bit of Young Sheldon, and I headed back outside. Got a couple, just basically after that, had myself a nice little cigar. Sun went down, and then headed in, grabbed myself my headlamp, which I mostly use for running, but I use it for working on stuff also at night. Wife goes, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm gonna go out and shovel some dirt." She goes, "What?" And I go, "No sun, won't get sunburnt, and it's a little cooler tonight, so I'm gonna go out and shovel dirt." So she's like, "Okay." I said, "I got no dogs. The weekend I got dogs, but I'll be in Kansas City. So you'll be here." I'm only one dog, and she's not a digger, so got a chance to basically plant some new grass seed and topsoil it with other dirt I have in my yard, front pile from doing my patio. So I'll be able to basically dress it. So hopefully, between the rain and the sprinklers, it'll get the grass to grow, and the grass will grow in before the dogs get here and beat it all up again. So I'm gonna go shovel dirt. I don't know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, whatever it was. So I went out and shoveled dirt for 2.5, 3 hours, and sweated my butt off. It's still so hot, it's so gross. And unfortunately, got out there and wasn't there very long at all, and my headlamp flashes, which will flash 3 times that you tell your battery's low. which is great. So you know that, but then it just flops on its lowest setting, which is even lower than low setting. So it's enough to get you back, I guess, off the trail if you're out running. But it's not very bright to work in the yard in, doing grass seeds and whatnot. So I had a dark, dim lit night all night, trying to dig dirt and spread grass seed. But yeah, I'm kind of digging this. Last night I worked in the garage until like, I don't know, not quite 2 a.m. Out here tonight, and I was out here working until well past 1, or almost 1. Well, by the time I got a shower, it was well past 1. So it was probably, I don't know, 1 a.m., 12:50, something like that. But 1 a.m. I was out here working in the garage. So it was 1:30 and I got out of the shower. And I don't know, kind of digging that. Like, work super late at night with no sun and a little bit cooler weather. And then basically sleep, like, get up like everybody else who does at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, which is the part that sucks, is not sleeping that much. But yeah, that's what it was. That's what I got. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.